same the purpose and the arrangement.
Yeah, the sculpted new idol is the standing murti, and the old one, which people believe suddenly appeared in 47-48, that will be the Utsav murti.
And I think we can see the first impression of the temple there, sir.
Yeah, that's right. That is Parkota. That is the dome of the Parkota.
So we have to go inside? No. Okay. So this is the temple.
Yeah,
This is the temple everyone is waiting for. Everyone has waited for decades, centuries, and is finally in front of us.
Yeah, let me take you in order so that you have a better view. Your camera people will be able to take it.
Yes.
The Parkota is the outer circumference, which is 795 meters, and that provides a kind of a boundary, the security of the temple. And that is what you are seeing, the dome.
Yeah.
But the moment you move a little, you see the temple.
Okay.
That is the temple.
This one?
Yeah.
Okay.
You see the first...
Oh, this is the entrance Parkota?
Yeah.
And then the main temple?
Then main temple.
Oh, okay.
So the devotee will go from here, enter through the Parkota, and then reach the temple, and that is the first mandap. That is the Nritya mandap.
Right.
Then you have the second mandap, that is Rang mandap. And then you have the third mandap, which is Guru mandap. On Guru mandap, then you have two arms, literally, right and left. One is the Prarthana mandap and the other is Kirtan mandap. So in all there are 5 mandaps, and after you have walked that distance of 5 mandap, you reach the Garbhagriha. The shikhar that you see, which is not the permanent shikhar. The permanent shikhar will come only when you have built the second story also. But at the moment, this is just, let us say, a temporary shikhar which has been constructed.
Right.
And the height of that ultimately will be 161 feet.
Right.
That is the place in the ground floor is the Garbhagriha.
The sanctum sanctorum.
Yeah, sanctum sanctorum. And that's where the Lord, the Pran Pratishtha will take place.
So then I want to come to some questions and be done with them so that we go to the more positive ones. So when you say that this is a temporary structure, some people say the Pran Pratishtha should not happen in a temporary structure. So have the consultations happened?
Oh, I think I may have conveyed the wrong impression. The mandaps are not temporary.
Okay. No, but the second floor, third floor?
The shikhar is temporary.
Okay.
The bhutal, what did we promise? Good that you asked. We promised that the ground floor will be complete. The ground floor will be have Garbhagriha, sanctum sanctorum. It will have 5 mandaps. So all that is complete.
So whatever is needed for rituals?
Not just needed for rituals, even for installation. The Lord now lives in the sanctum sanctorum. He is installed there. The Pran Pratishtha will take place there. The prayer will take place, and the devotees will now go and have darshan. First floor, no, you have to understand, the ground floor is the floor of Ram Lalla. That is why you just described that Ram Lalla standing is 5 years or less than 5 years, and you have another Ram Lalla which was there in 47-48 which appeared.
Yes.
So the ground floor is Ram Lalla. The first floor is Ram Darbar.
Who all would be there?
Yeah, there Ram, Sita, brothers and Param Sevak Hanuman, they will be there. That is the first floor. We never promised that the first floor of Ram Darbar, Raja Ram, will be completed.
Oh, right.
Raja Ram will be completed later.
Right.
And the second floor is for Anushthan, which means special prayers.
Right.
Special yagya.
Right.
That will take place on the second floor. So as far as the temple is there, the temple of Ram Lalla is complete in all respects.
Fantastic. So let's move on now. You have been integral to the construction of the Ram temple since its inception, since the Supreme Court, the next day of the Supreme Court verdict, in fact, when the committee was announced. How has been the journey, the challenges? There would have been challenges, of course, and there would have been some very positive, happy surprises. The manner in which the society got involved, the manner in which people came and said, please tell us what needs to be done. Please share some thoughts.
There were challenges, no doubt about that. Of this task of this scale and expectation, naturally there will be challenges. But there was some divine dispensation. Every challenge, every problem met with the solution the next morning. There was a challenge of what should be the type of foundation, engineering, because the people, geophysical experts,
Yes.
they said few hundred years back, Saryu must have been here.
Yes.
And therefore, the soil is very unstable.
Right.
And so this soil will have to be removed. The soil got removed. And can you gaze the depth which we went, 15 meters.
Right.
15 meters depth, we dug it out, removed the soil. If you enter in the temple today, in fact, you'll be surprised. We discussed for half an hour amongst ourselves, the team, what and how we are going to tackle with that mountain which is there, the soil which is kept there. So just imagine, a foundation was laid, that well of 15 meter was filled with engineered soil.
Yes.
Let me mention another challenge. When this temple was conceived, perhaps it was not so ambitious. But then finally, it became a huge temple with all other aspirations reflecting there, including the fact that it should have a minimum sustainability and life of 1,000 years. We didn't know what is the cost and what will be the, how are we going to mobilize resources. Someone whispered it will not be more than 2,000 crores. Then the mobilization started, and it is, I have to acknowledge those who were responsible, including the trust people and also Vishwa Hindu Parishad and RSS. They are volunteers, went village to village, covered about more than 5 lakh villages, and ultimately collected 3,500 crores.
Against 2,000 that you needed.
Yeah. So look at the kind of response, not a pie, not one pie coming from government, no state government, no central government. Everything now belongs to the donors, to the devotees.
This is very important because an attempt is being made to show ये तो सरकारी है, ये तो सरकार कर रही है, प्रधानमंत्री का है.
The Supreme Court, in their judgment, have envisaged that it will be an autonomous trust and it will not be controlled by any government agency. It is an autonomous trust which is running, and there may be guidance, there may be support in the nature that the Ayodhya is being developed, but the premises of 71 acres of land, which is where the temple is, it is entirely from the donors' money.
Right. And we are looking at Pran Pratishtha now, day after, in just few hours actually. Arrangements in place. Prime Minister would be there. Can you tell us something about how you interacted, engaged with him during the process? Like, did he give some inputs?
I got opportunities. I did present to him the progress taking place. He was extremely anxious to know if there is any problem in implementation of the temple project. It was always, we assured him that everything is going smoothly. Then there were occasions where he would express his views. For example, the question of ensuring that the temple must belong to all parts of the country,
Okay.
the north, south, east and west.
Uh-huh.
So he wanted that culturally we must introduce one such not yet implemented is the idea of Gopuram.
Right. From south.
Now, south.
Right.
Now, we have not yet implemented because we haven't got the land facing Parkota directly.
Right.
Because Parkota, the tradition is
Yeah.
that you must be in the line of the Lord,
Deity. Yeah.
therefore deity. Therefore, we are looking for, once we procure, we may be able to do it.
We still procure the land.
We are trying.
Yeah.
We are trying our best. We would like to
So
buy
Gopuram is for the south.
south. Likewise, he wanted that north, east, west. Every part of India must feel that the temple belongs to the person from that area.
Right.
Likewise, there was the issue of social harmony.
Yes.
He has always said, perhaps also in public speeches, I am not sure, but definitely to me, that Raja Ram, the prince, became Maryada Purushottam when he went to exile, 14 years of Vanvas. When he returned, he had developed the Maryada, the ultimate value of not just governance, the ultimate value the human being must
Compassion.
aspire for.
Yes.
And it is in that spirit that he suggested you should have 7 other temples belonging to, starting from Maharshi Valmiki and going up to Sabri, Nishad, Ahilya, etc. So that is part of it. His ambition to merge technology with heritage.
Right.
Now, he suggested that if you can somehow get the sun rays penetrating through the shikhar and falling on the forehead of the Lord on Ram Navami day, people, especially devotees, will have a very thrilling experience of Lord having been born. That joy is not measurable. So he suggested that, and we are very fortunate. CSIR scientists, they joined hands, people in astronomy, people in buildings, people in making the calculations that how the sun will move for the next 19-20 years and what kind of gadgets should be placed so that for next 20 years it remains relevant. All that led to a gadget recommendation, the computerized program, which will ensure that from next Ram Navami, the sun rays will penetrate through the shikhar and come, fall on the forehead of Lord. So this is technology. So he is a believer, you know.
Yes, of
I mean,
course. So we are seeing
something which
I've seen it.
he is
for long.
so receptive. He is still learning in terms of, if you think of technology, the Prime Minister is still learning. He is a student almost every day. So he
But
suggested
very,
that.
very, very keen on technology.
Oh, very keen. Anything, anywhere in any part of the world. He doesn't believe that India cannot have it, India may not be able to invent it or discover it. He believes if we want it, we can reach the highest global standards.
I'm coming to the end of our conversation, sir. 2 more questions. The Pran Pratishtha ceremony itself. People want to know how this idea of social harmony, of inclusivism, would be reflected in the ceremony itself.
I should not speak because I am really responsible for the construction. But
because it became an issue
what
there.
I have heard is that there are going to be select people of various representation don't take it in narrow terms of caste.
Right.
Take it in terms of those who are believers but from different angles.
Sections of society.
Sections of society, the better word. They have been invited. They will perhaps have the pride of place in sitting in one of the mandaps inside when the Pran Pratishtha ceremony takes place. And as the Pran Pratishtha finishes, they will be the first visitors before the Lord, and they will make their prayers, and then Prime Minister will come on the dais, which is at the temple itself. He will address the guest audience and to the nation and internationally that day, and then the guests will have the chance to visit the temple. But the first glance or first prayer which will be made from this section of society, the chosen few.
Not
who
the
will
Prime
be there.
Minister.
Prime Minister, of course, is
He's
there
part
in
of
Garbhagriha.
Right.
He is doing the Pran Pratishtha. Once he comes out,
Yes.
then only these people go.
Fair. My last question, sir. You have been personally inviting guests as
Yeah.
part of the chairman of the construction
I
company.
have not been inviting guests. In fact, that's one thing which I am totally
But there have
away.
been pictures of you going to the.
Oh yes,
invites.
yes. That was as per instructions of the trust. I did go to people, eminent people, where I was asked to go along with the team, and I did extend invitation there. There
sir,
you are right.
Because there was some controversy, that's why I'm asking.
Yeah,
the final
please.
question. You went to invite some people who are now saying that they don't want to come.
Right.
What was their reaction when you invited them? So when you invited someone like a Sonia Gandhi, when you invited someone like a Mallikarjun Kharge, what was their reaction when you actually invited them? Because later it was something different.
When I invited them, I think there was no discussion, and I did not, for obvious reasons, did not want to get their commitment, whether they are coming or not coming. That was left to them. But I showed them, I conveyed to them that what has been the consideration of the trust in inviting the eminent people in various fields, including politics, and that is why I have come to invite. They accepted the invitation, they thanked the trust, and that was the discussion that I had.
But they were very receptive.
They were very welcoming to the idea that we went and invited them. And the question of receptivity is somewhere linked with the commitment to come. I do not know.
No, commitment to come is different. But
Yeah.
someone like a Sonia Gandhi went to give the card. She
extremely
was very
receptive. Extremely receptive. She read the invitation card and looked at it and then thanked me.
Right.
Yeah.
And she said that this is a good thing that has happened.
No, I don't recall that observation, but she did say that extremely kind of the trust to have come and extended this invitation, which is appreciated.
Thank you so much, sir. Your work is not done, by the way. It's just the Pran Pratishtha and the ground floor. There is still at least 1.5 to 2 years work left.
Minimum.
So maybe we'll
Yeah.
continuing this conversation, but the momentous occasion of Pran Pratishtha, your role in it. Thank you so much for the
Thank
conversation.
you. Thank you.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.